Favorite sayings, one of my most favorite is from St. Francis of Assisi. What's looking is what you're looking for. That one is very, very nice. Another one I really like is from Ramana Maharshi, which is, to know God is to be God. I think that's excellent. Very, very succinct and to the point, yes? There's a number of them on the website, actually. We used to put quotes on that I really like. There's one that, what is that? Whatever can be perceived, can't perceive. From Huang Po, a great master, Chinese Zen master. It's one of my favorites. Also, the teachings of Huang Po I recommend. It's a very high level of mind being expressed there, I thought. There's no high levels, but it was a nice, succinct nuggets, a lot of nuggets in there. I like the one from the guy Paul Hedderman, the best way to get out of something is realize you're not in it. I like that quite a lot. I do. The idea of we're all seeking our own absence, but we want to be there when it happens. I like that one also. That one I enjoy a lot. I like the idea of I am the seeing of what I'm not, because that's an activity that's going on, and the real message reverberates all the time to me. So all the time I'm alive, there's a seeing seemingly, but I am the seeing of what I'm not. I am not the seer of what I'm not. I am the seeing of what I'm not. Yeah? There is no seer of what I'm not. The seer is part of what I'm not. Yes? But I am the seeing of what I'm not. Is more like it. The thing with, and I always love the simple statement by Buddha, supposedly, again you don't know, there's a couple of them, but I always like the one of, events happen and deeds are done, but there's no individual doer thereof. And I like the one of when see, see, when hear, hear, when feel, feel, when taste, taste, when touch, touch. Instead of a lot of times when touching and seeing and hearing happens here, it's translated as I'm the hearer, I'm the seer, I'm the feeler, I'm the toucher. Yes? But he's just keeping it quite simple. Consciousness, a no-thingness in contact. Through what? Seeing, hearing, tasting, and touching. So the real, how you would capture what you think is a noun, which would be consciousness, which it isn't, is in the verb. So many of us, I believe, are trying to capture the verb as a noun. We want to find out who's the seer. We want to find out who's the hearer. We want to find out who's the toucher. We want to find out who's the thinker. But it's in the seeing, yeah? And what's hearing and feeling and tasting and touching can't be seen, felt, tasted, or touched. It can't be made into an object. It's impossible. So the only way it can be held and really sensed deeply is in the seeing of it, in seeing, in hearing, in feeling, in tasting. Yeah? In doing. A doing that's not coupled with the idea of being a doer, but just doing. Seeing not coupled with the idea of being the seer. Hearing not coupled with the idea of being a hearer. Feeling not coupled by the idea of being the feeler. Yeah? Because as soon as the feeler is dropped in, then it's my seeing, my hearing, my feeling, my tasting. And what that is a definitely a very, very strong content of interpretation about who and what's being seen and heard and felt and tasted and touched, yes? Which is like the fertile playing ground in a way for selfing. It just goes off, just rips incredibly. So when a feeling is just a feeling, when a vision is just sight, it's a nicer way to travel, yeah? very economical, very pared down. You're not collecting things as you go along. You're not dragging stuff of what you've collected before, and you're not holding on to what you collected before because you're afraid you're going to lose it later on. Yes, it's just very loose. It's like wearing a loose garment instead of like a tight uniform. Yeah. So, but what's looking for is one of my favorites. That's one of the first ones that really got me. And all the really, really good ones are very succinct, you know? Like, I am that I am that. I am that I am. That's supposedly what Ramana Maharshi supposedly used to use that a lot. I am that I am, yeah? When they asked God what he was, he says, I am that I am, yeah? Well, to sort of get into to know God is to be God, I feel that's an expression of a direct source of knowledge, true knowledge in a way, where in the conditional mind, to know something is to be the knower of it, yeah? But in the way Ramana was presenting it, to know, that's not a something, but let's just use it, to know something called God is to be it, yeah? That is an incredible different form of knowledge than to know something is to be the knower of it. It's much different. To be the knower of it, your false subjectivity can never be lost. Whatever you come in contact with will be an object to you as the false you, yes? So to know God would be, I'm a knower of God, in that point of view. Then the emphasis would always be on you as the subject, yes? To know it. Our usual modality, to know something, is always the emphasis is on the knower, really, not on the thing being known, yeah? So that subject-object modality is always reinforced by our ways of knowledge here. That's why in recovery it says self-knowledge avails you nothing, meaning knowledge in the format of selfing, yeah, will not bring you freedom from that self. So if you gain a lot of knowledge about self, it's sort of like being a professor of holes, but you keep falling into holes. You know exactly how big they are, where they are, how long it will take to get out, but you still find yourself in the hole. What value does that knowledge have? Yeah? But in this form of knowledge, to know God is to be God. It's so beautiful. Yeah? It cuts out the knower, which is the false subject, and then the true subjectivity is seen from. Never seen, because you can't have knowledge of that, but the seeing from it is being it. Yeah? That's why I say, I am the seeing of what I'm not. That's what I am, is that being, that seeing all the time, yeah? Not the being, it's not a being. The being of seeing is what I am, and how it demonstrates that is seeing what I'm not, which is all I can see, because I can never see what I am, because it's not of thingness. It can't be picked up here, yeah? So it's the seeing of what I'm not is what I am. And that's the closest thing you can ever get to it as. You can't know it, you can be it. Yeah. You bypass this little excess move of knowing something with the hopes that after I know it, I'm going to become it. That's the desiring to become. Yeah. But this is short-circuiting it. To know God is to be God. Bam. Yeah. Beautiful. What are you going to do with that? You still don't have any knowledge of God because it's bypassed it. You're being it. Yeah? There's no need for knowledge of it as an object. You're being it. You're living as the subject of that. Yeah? Instead of being this false subject that's neutered it into an object. Oh, I know God. I am a knower of God. I am a lover of God. I am a follower of God. He's bypassing all that. No. To know God is to be God. Not to be a follower of it, not to be a lover of it, not to be a haver of that object, because God is not an object. Yeah. And nor are you. I love that statement. It's very clear, and it cuts a very important rope of the foundation of selfing, which is constantly seeking knowledge, but all the emphasis is not on what was sought, but the seeker. The seeker gets all the interest and attention, yes? That the light, even if it's the most noble idea, that doesn't get the light. It's you who's approaching the idea gets all the light, and that you is what you're not. That's selfing. Yeah. So yes, I really love that statement. That's my hot pick for the week.
It's very aboriginal.
To know God is to be God.